Hi, I'm Edie.
I'm Judy.
And together we're the Rainbow Grannies. Yay!
Woo!
Hey, well, we are so grateful and so lucky today. We had a wonderful experience with guests on Zoom. Amanda, I really want to thank you very much for coming in and getting this started here.
Yes.
Sure.
I've been wanting to for a while now. I'm getting my BSW in social work. It's a bachelor's in social work, so I've been studying humans. I'm gay myself. I'm also 41 years old, so I wanted to see even older than me how it was for you guys growing up, and like all of the stipulations that you had to deal with your mothers and fathers, and then what age were you to come out and say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
I don't want to pretend. Was everybody against gay people back then? And when they found out about gay people and or you, how were you treated?
The gay community was a very hidden community. Growing up, I didn't even know the word gay until I was 10 years old. But I knew since I was, the youngest I remember was 4 years old, and I already knew then that I was gay. I just didn't have a word for it. And I already knew I was like head over heels in love with my babysitter, for example. And I knew not to tell anybody in the family about it. Right? I mean, she was beautiful and she taught me how to read. So that was just gold for me. And by the time I was 10, I knew what I knew what gay was, but I still didn't connect it to myself. And when I learned about gay, it was from friends of mine, and there was no judgment about it. And in my family, there was nobody who ever talked badly about gays. It just wasn't talked positively either, just like we didn't exist. Then I saw on a library building, someone had sprayed something like gay pride. And I thought, I started getting an inkling like, yeah, we do exist and we're out there. But I still didn't connect it with myself till I was a teenager. I didn't know what I would fantasize about women, but I didn't know what the fantasies were about. I just knew I had this attraction. So it's not that we heard anything negative. It's just I didn't hear anything at all. Edie was saying that she was on TikTok last night and saw a recording some guy did where he held his phone on recording his parents. He came out to them and they were telling him, if you plan to go to college, you better figure out a way to go on your own.
It was a 4-part series last night on there with this young man letting people know that, this was what was happening. And he didn't like show his parents, but you could hear them in the background going off and telling him that, he was going to hell and he, in the hands of Satan and all this, so it's still out there.
Growing up in the, you're black. So growing up black, gay, and gay, right?
Yes.
Did you hear from your parents either racism things and stuff against gay people? Because Judy said that she didn't hear that growing up.
Oh yes,
did
I
you?
did. Oh yes.
On your side.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yeah. I mean, I remember my mother loved Johnny Mathis until she finally figured out that Johnny Mathis was gay. And then it was like, I don't think we're going to listen to music anymore. And it bothered her that bad.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think that people got to realize there's so many people that were like closeted in history that nobody really even realizes. Like, especially like, I mean, Alexander the Great is so like, that's one that everybody knows, but like, there are still people that weren't out that are pretty famous.
Right.
I want to say, Amanda,
you heard the race.
I want to say that my family is Jewish and very progressive. So not religious, but culturally Jewish. And that might also be a reason why there just wasn't much talked about gays at all. I mean, it just wasn't an issue. But when I came out, they were pretty good about it.
I have Middle Eastern background, and I just found my birth father, and I recently got in touch with his brother, my uncle, and I came out as trans right off the bat. And he said, "Oh, that's not okay." So yeah, I'm basically disowned by my father's side of my birth father's side of the family. Not that I care, because they're Middle Eastern. I should have figured that they wouldn't be so accepting. They were born in Lebanon, and that's not a very safe state for LGBTQ. Well, safe country for LGBTQ people.
So how about you, Amanda? How was your childhood?
My childhood, I will say I grew up in an Italian family, which was very racist, against everybody, gay, black, whoever. They were very racist. I heard a lot of nasty stuff, so I was scared to tell my family that I was gay at 16.
Right.
When, you know, I was enough, like I knew, you know, when I went into the girls' locker rooms and stuff, I felt uncomfortable. I had to get out, you know. But I heard racism in my family, and I heard about that stuff my whole life. And what happened when I turned 16, my mother actually kicked me out for being gay, because not only were we Italian, we were Catholic. So if you know about the Catholic religion, she was very, my mom is my best friend today. Don't get me wrong. She's my best friend. She's actually a psychiatrist. So I understand. And now she accepts me as, you know, I'm 41 now. She accepts me now. And my grandmother's 89 and she accepts me. Does she like it? No, but she doesn't say much now.
Right.
When I was a kid, I went through a hard struggle, a very, very hard struggle. And then when they realized I wasn't going to be anything but gay, then they stopped, you know, and I didn't hear that stuff anymore. And people grew up in the world, and I went through the fighting, and I did all of that. I was in the rallies with trying to fight for LGBTQ, you know. I was one of the first people. That's why it's important to give our knowledge to children that don't understand what they really are. But see, in the world today, we don't have as much as we did back as children. You know, we don't have as much. They don't have as much because we paved a way that was easier for them. You know, something
they
important.
wouldn't have if you guys didn't stand up. I'm a big ally, so they wouldn't have if you guys did not stand up what they have now.
There's still a long way to go, especially for the trans community.
I'm not disagreeing.
Thanks for joining us. I want you to make sure you subscribe so that you can get a notification each and every time we put up a video. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.